They are not what we think they are intellectually. You know? Or they are playing games.
But where does that...
And look at how, it's possible these guys are overrated. Look at how Ruto was able to dribble the ball. Passing all these people. How?
Does that mean Raila is the one who's blindsided?
No, you can't. I'm saying it's difficult to know.
I'm saying if it's either games or overratedness, does that mean Raila is the one at a corner not knowing where he went wrong? A very good day to you. Welcome to Herman Manyora's YouTube channel. My name is Jedel Kabir. I'm excited to have you for our political conversations, which I do hope will build this country. As we're progressing with President William Ruto. Prof, how are you?
Fine.
He has been called an illegitimate president.
Yes.
And now the president, former President Uhuru Kenyatta is back. We saw him at Magoha's place and he was saying, Steve Tulia, just do your thing. Wacha watu wa mdomo. And guys are asking, is Uhuru back in the campaigns of Azimio, and what is he doing calling out the government of President William Ruto, telling yao ni mdomo too? What do you think of that? Is Uhuru back?
And Matiang'i also jumped in. Yeah.
Are they back? What are we looking at?
What caught my attention was the contempt. The contempt with which President Uhuru Kenyatta and Matiang'i dismissed Ruto and his team. That caught my attention. Yeah.
Could there be something being worked on by Uhuru's side together with trying to get into Azimio? Because people argue that if Uhuru goes to one of those rallies, we'll see something different in this country. Is that what could be being planned? Because the contempt, as you say, it is.
You know, before the elections, I did say that Uhuru has influence on the mountain. He's a Kenyatta, and Kenyatta is an institution. Many people dismissed me, but even the votes that were given to Raila, even if you are to ignore issues of electoral theft, also showed Uhuru was not somebody who could wish away. And I also said, if Ruto continued saying bad things about Kenyatta, it could hurt his campaign. Of course, he won, again, if we ignore the issues of theft and what have you. But now, if he continues to talk bad about Uhuru Kenyatta and the Kenyatta family, surely there will be consequences. And the confidence and arrogance and dismissal nature of Uhuru's conduct yesterday is very worrying. Must be worrying to Ruto. Extremely worrying.
What could be the game plan, if there is a game plan? Because I've seen you're careful with your words today. What could be the game plan, if there is any?
You know why I'm trying to be careful, because many people seem to think that Ruto and Uhuru are into a game. So I don't want to go in that direction. So I want to assume they are not working together.
It's just Uhuru is just working.
If Ruto is working on his own, and the way Uhuru talked at Magoha's place, Ruto can get annoyed and do a lot more than he has done in terms of pushing hard on the Kenyattas. The impact of this is you could now get Uhuru out. And I've been saying, and some people have also been saying, if these Azimio rallies, Uhuru's face was directly seen, not necessarily attending, but directly, that Uhuru is behind them properly.
The hand is there.
There you can see, not hiding. Like they are with Raila in Serena Hotel just before Raila drives to a rally. Something of that nature. This will be dangerous. These rallies will become something else. And I'm trying to say therefore that you cannot wish Uhuru away.
I want to know this. If you say it could be dangerous, and some would argue he was in the rallies in the previous elections 2022, but still Ruto won, you say that is debatable too. How dangerous can Uhuru be now if Ruto won in 2022?
You know, when you look at victory, you must look at it not in a very simplistic way, the way people say. The people talk of winning as if, let's forget about rigging elections, stolen elections. Just talk about the figures as presented by Chepkati. How comfortable that victory? I know victory is victory, but how comfortable was it? So one could argue, perhaps if Uhuru's hand was not present in that election, maybe Ruto would have won so comfortable that what the noise that is coming from the Raila camp would not be coming from there.
Yeah.
So you can't therefore ignore the contribution of Uhuru, because assuming that figures are right, the thing is so close that you have to wait until the last vote is counted to know who is a winner.
Yeah.
And after that, you can see the dispute to the Supreme Court and beyond the Supreme Court, creating issues of legitimacy. Would that have been the case if Raila got 4 million votes?
No.
Would that have been the case?
Not really. But I need you to tell me this, because there's also the question of who's the Mount Kenya kingpin. Rigathi Gachagua believes he is. Supporters believe that now that they have won, he's the only voice people can listen to. That's why he was even going after Sakaja, trying to tamper with Mount Kenya business people. And then we have the president now, President Uhuru Kenyatta, who is also believed by a side of people that he's the Mount Kenya kingpin. If he's to arrive to this conclusion that he's going to work with Azimio, play in their rallies and try to take Ruto out, will he have a voice for his people in the mountain region?
You know what?
Who's the Mount Kenya kingpin, that is?
The highest ranking son of the soil from Mount Kenya is certainly Rigathi Gachagua.
Yeah.
He's second in command in the country. Uhuru is a former president. But that's not how you measure influence. Because power and influence and authority, these things are not necessarily the same. From an authority point of view, second in command is a powerful man because he has the authority. But in terms of power, I want to tell you here now, the power Uhuru has is far greater than in fact, you can't compare the two. There's no comparison between Gachagua and Uhuru Kenyatta. And there are very easy ways of measuring these kind of things. It's not even difficult. In the village, if somebody dies, look at the attendance. Why somebody else has died and everybody has stopped, everybody is there. Vehicles are there, I don't know how many. That tells you really, you can't guess. This is a more influential person, more well-known, more influential, and all those adjectives. Within Mount Kenya, the man to watch is, the man to beat is Uhuru Kenyatta. Yeah, he's a man that the community thinks is a leader. Even now that he's with Raila and questions are raised, whether he's still... Those are temporal things. Those are temporal things. You know, even a very popular king can become unpopular for some times. And sometimes people regret why they didn't support their king, why they have not supported their president, their prime minister. People make stupid decisions. The British people, I don't think, I suspect they are regretting the Brexit. So people make those periodic mistakes. They make the periodic mistakes. They are carried away by passions of the time, by sweet tongues, people talking well, by demagogues, for example. But when they are back, the dust has settled. Uhuru is a Mount Kenya kingpin.
Do you think that the President William Ruto's team, even President William Ruto, is trying to take Uhuru out of government affairs when it comes to this leadership and the peace envoy in DRC, because they come out now, people did not even suspect that the president was working with Azimio, but they come out and they say he's the one supporting them in their rallies. Why do you think they can come with such accusations if actually are not true?
You know, I have said something many times. I've said you look at what a particular leader is doing and another leader, and you say, no, these people must be playing games because it's not possible. But I've also said something else. I've said sometimes these people are overrated. These people are just overrated.
It's not like complicated.
No, you may think it is not, how is it possible that Ruto can't see this? How is it possible Uhuru can't do this? How is it possible Raila is doing this? These people sometimes are just overrated. So there may be no game. It could be their best. And you wonder how.
And you wonder why.
How and I mean how. Because I say, assuming Raila and Uhuru was genuine, let's assume he was genuine in his support for Azimio and Gideon Moi. Let's say they were genuine and they put in their best and that they are intelligent people.
Yeah.
Let's also assume further that Ruto really hates these people. And what he's saying is genuine. And he wants to finish them.
Yeah.
And let's also then complicate it kidogo and say, and I've said it on this show or the other show we had, how difficult is it for the president to finish the Kenyatta family in terms of business?
Yeah.
It's so simple.
Yeah.
You just, KCC is a government outfit. You use KCC to kill Brookside. You go for the banks. Then you go for this. Then you go for the gun.
And lands.
If people are selling seed, maize seed, and they're making millions or billions, you give free seed. You just finish them. If they give me to write for them in 2 hours, how you can finish the Gideon Mois and the Kenyattas, in 2 hours I'll show them how to do it legally and nobody will even know. So assuming all of them are genuine with what they are doing, they are playing at their best. Don't you find each of them is, I don't want to use a bad name, that they are overrated? That if what Uhuru gave and Gideon Moi was the best, then they're overrated. Because if Ruto, as we are saying, can finish them financially,
And he hasn't.
they should have seen it. And if they should have seen it, then they should have put forward their best foot to ensure Raila won. You see how I'm saying these people could be overrated?
And even
Now let's now turn to Ruto.
Yeah.
Let's assume he's genuine, he wants to finish Uhuru. How far can you go if you touch Uhuru? Assuming what you are doing is genuine, you are going after Uhuru, tax, what? Can you see you can lose Mount Kenya very easily? Because where Guza Wazimu, those street boys, touch them, the street urchins, then you know they have owners. Touch even a Shenzi dog, and the owner will appear. When the police have sometimes shot and those street urchins, street boy, one of them has been, don't you see the family coming up?
Yeah.
So, how much so for Uhuru Kenyatta if you touch him? You think he doesn't have his own people? You think Ruto should not be seeing this? And therefore I'm saying, these guys could be playing games. Right from the election time up to now. But it is also equally possible these guys are overrated.
So it's either...
Because if Uhuru was genuine and Gideon Moi was genuine, they would have known once Raila loses, they will suffer.
But they haven't yet.
And then they didn't put forward or what they did was their best. If what they did was their best, then they are overrated.
So it's either games or overrated politicians.
We either have overrated these people, they are not what we think they are intellectually, you know, or they are playing games.
But where does that...
And look at how, it's possible these guys are overrated. Look at how Ruto was able to dribble the ball, passing all these people, how.
Does that mean Raila is the one who's blindsided?
No, you can't. I'm saying it's difficult to know.
I'm saying if it's either games or overratedness, does that mean Raila is the one at a corner not knowing where he went wrong?
If assuming Ruto was with Uhuru in cohorts playing Raila, then Raila was too trusting or he's overrated.
Two.
Or he knows something we don't know.
And that's why they meet with Uhuru. These are difficult conversations that we have to wait and see how these games unfold. Do talk again. Thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Gerald Kibir here with Herman Manyora. Have yourself a lovely rest of your day.